Everyone get in here, we got some new Mega Man media. And I don't need a Prime membership for this one. That's right, the Mega Man comic from Udon that I talked about 9 months ago drops this month. But as a special surprise, we got a preview issue for Free Comic Book Day, and I managed to snag a copy. The comic line is called Mega Man Timelines, and there's an upcoming issue for each of the series that don't belong to an alternate history. No Battle Network or Star Force for now. I'm gonna go over my impressions, as well as what we might be able to expect if we play our cards right. Issue 0 takes place in Boing Boing Amusement Park, where among the food trucks are 3 run by Robot Masters, Windman, Coldman, and Skullman. After getting a Yelp review for each, one by one, they all recall their previous epic battle with Mega Man. I'll pop up some of the textless preview pages that were posted online, but I won't get too into the specifics beyond just the premise, since it just came out and I'm hoping people will give it a look. Though as for everything else, there don't seem to be any original characters in this one outside of the random human bystanders, which just feel like a step up from props to me. There's a few random baddies, the Robot Masters I mentioned, and the front cover has them along with Roll, Beat, Cutman, Airman, Iceman, and Snake Man, along with the train shutter from Clownman stage. While it doesn't have the whole classic series represented, it is a pretty good spread. There's 4 artists with different styles, some more anime, some more cartoony, which Mega Man's always kinda straddled that line. On issue 1 is Kenny Ruiz, who I believe does the Windman fight here. As for the actual story, there's not a lot of context there. I'm not sure if the battles are supposed to be representative of the ones you fought in the games, since I don't think Mega Man ever went to Chuck E. Cheese's in 4, but maybe these were meant to be less literal adaptations, and instead add in a lot of extra details and flavor to spice things up, which, hey, that's certainly more interesting than Mega Man just marching into a room and shooting the boss with their weakness a few times. The fights have some pretty good action in them, and each of the bosses throw in some puns to their dialogue, which all 3 seems a little much, but as a fan of dumb wordplay, I enjoy it. I just worry others might not. There's some more silly shenanigans that deserve a chuckle, though I regret to inform fans of the King numbers that Coldman might be dumb. Really, really dumb. I'm sorry. Though it is a little endearing. You get a feel-good moment at the end, and a possible lead into the first issue with some 11 stuff coming into play, and the cover having a rendition of 11 Stage Select. I think it was a pretty good introduction, and I'm definitely looking forward to the proper installment. Of course, I am very much the target audience, so take that as you will. At the very end of the book, we get a list of the upcoming comics, with what month they're dropping and who's doing the story and art. This kinda surprised me since initially, I thought it would be Issue 1 Classic, Issue 2X, 3, 0, 4 ZX, and 5 Legends, with one crew working on the whole line and maybe some story elements connecting each to the others. But they're all getting a separate Issue 1, with different people on each. And this is very exciting. I imagine this is Udon's savvy way to test out interest in each of the series. While I kind of already figured this might be the case, with them all getting a numbered issue, it'd be easy to springboard right into a full run if one does particularly well. Not really sure what the benchmark will be, but I imagine Classic is a safe bet, and my guess is that X will be the best seller. Even though he's more popular in the X series, Zero is still a fan favorite, and while niche, the Legends fanbase is very committed, so both of them I think also have a chance. As a bonus, Ian Flynn, the writer for the Sonic and previous Archie Mega Man comics, is on Zero, which might also give that one a bit of an edge. And ZX, I don't have much hope for, but would be happy if it did well enough to warrant a full run, or maybe just an occasional issue here and there. Ideally though, all 5 will hit their quota and will get full releases for each. As such, this is a good chance to vote with your wallet. While I'm not going to make any grand promises or suppositions like saying that buying enough copies of the X timelines will get Capcom to finally greenlight X9, good sales should at least lead to more Mega Man content from Udon, and who knows, with other successes like the Battle Network Legacy Collection, X Dive, and the Super Election results, maybe one of these smaller demands for more Mega Man will finally be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Though a comic being what finally pushes it over the edge seems pretty unlikely. But I can dream. But if you aren't totally convinced, like the name Free Comic Book Day would imply, Issue 0 is free. You can pick one up at your local comic book store yesterday, or even further back, depending on when you watch this. I'm timely on discussing the book, but not getting the word out. Whoops. Still, I know at least my shop typically holds on to the extras and lets people grab a few during a regular visit. And while you're there, maybe consider buying something else, since the stores actually have to pay for all the free offerings, and it'd be nice if they saw a little profit from it. Heck, it's typically not too hard to set up a pull list, so if you were interested in the full issues, you could probably do that to reserve them. I should probably mention that this video isn't sponsored, I'm not big enough for that. I just really like Mega Man, reading, graphic novels, small businesses, and there's been a hole in my heart ever since the Archie series died, right when it looked like we were gonna get a second monthly series based on X. There's also the Udon store online. If you don't want to go to a physical location, though shipping will be a factor. It's also a good chance to look at some of the variant covers available, some of which are more expensive but are an additional way to show support for one series or another. Of course though, while the standard issues are only $5, which isn't much, if we did ever get a full monthly series, that would be a full $60 a year, the price of a new game. So while I am encouraging people to pick these up, I do want them to be aware of the chip damage and what they could maybe buy instead. Though I'm at least getting one copy of every issue. In related news, Rockman Corner talked to Udon to get some additional information on their plans for Mega Man. I'll link it in the description, but the big bullet points are that they confirm that sales will have an effect on how far they go with each of the series, though they use the word mini-series rather than monthly, which would be more in line with what they do for Darkstalkers and Street Fighter. They also show off all the standard covers for each of the full issues, which seem to focus on the first game in their series other than Classic, which instead uses the latest, Mega Man 11. And apparently they also got the rights to republish the Archie run, other than the Sonic crossovers. I still really love those comics, so I think it's wonderful that they'll be readily available again. Ian Flynn recently confirmed that Capcom should own the rights to the original characters those introduced, so I have some wild, far-fetched hope that they could just pick those books up again, right where Archie left off, if they really wanted to. Like I mentioned, Udon doesn't really do the long-running series thing, but if there's enough people willing to make it, and enough people willing to pay for it, I mean, who can say? Sure, I'll buy these again in a third format, Udon. Here's my credit card. There's some other nice little tidbits beyond that, and the article isn't too long, so if you're at all interested, I'd recommend giving it a read. And that's pretty much it. Comics coming out, we got a free preview, I liked it and really want all the books to succeed. My enthusiasm risking it sounding like I'm being paid off. Which I'm not, pay no attention to the Lamborghini. In all seriousness, with the drought of Mega Man content, this was a very nice treat, so I hope other fans are able to enjoy it as well. Of course, with it being a video game series first and foremost, an adaptation in a different medium certainly isn't going to scratch that itch for everyone. So I guess I should ask, are you excited about one, some, or all of these upcoming issues? Were you able to get your hands on the free Comic Book Day preview? And if so, what did you think? And should I give any more attention to some of the other adaptations of the Blue Bomber? With that, thanks as always for watching, and maybe consider subscribing if you're into retro games, especially Mega Man. Oh crap, I never introduced myself! I'm Wes, the Explosion! Name recognition!